noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Noble Gold Investments is pleased to let you know that gold was the best investment class for 2022. Real estate, crypto, stocks, and bonds. Gold outperformed them all in 2022. Matter of fact, Noble Gold Investments helped thousands of clients buy real physical gold. And according to longtermtrends.net, gold outperformed the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, and even Bitcoin in 2022. Had you invested in the S&P 500 a year ago, you'd be crying because you'd lost 20% of your investment. If you'd invested in Bitcoin a year ago, you'd have lost 65%. And if you have put all your 401k or your savings, if you've invested in the Dow Jones in the stock market, you'd have lost 10%. But gold has outperformed them all in 2022, and silver wasn't that far behind. So what are we waiting for here? We need to join the thousands of others by opening a gold IRA or silver IRA with noblegoldinvestment.com. Invest with Noble Gold Investments before the end of the month, and you will bag a free 1/4 of an ounce American Gold Eagle coin. That's 1/4 of an ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualified IRA, gold IRA of $50,000 or more. Just pick up the phone and call Colin Plume or one of his associates at 877-646-5347. And you can ask for a no-pressure consultation, only conversation. That's 877-646-5347. I promise you something. You will be glad that you did. I tell you, those guys are really professionals and they care.
In California, the Oakland airport and 50,000 people in the Bay Area lost power due to a fire. A power substation fire temporarily caused outages at the Oakland International Airport and left 50,000 customers around the East San Francisco Bay Area without electricity on Sunday, Oakland fire officials said. The Oakland Fire Department responded to a fire on Pacific Gas and Electric property in the early afternoon and found a transformer on fire, an unidentified spokesman for the Oakland Fire Department said in a video that was posted to the social media platform Twitter. The fire has been extinguished. The fire caused power outages in Oakland and Alameda. Pacific Gas and Electric's website estimated power would be restored by mid-evening. Spokespeople did not immediately respond to a phone call seeking comment. The Oakland International Airport, which serves about 170 flights a day, lost power for nearly 2 hours, spokesman Robert Bernardo told the San Francisco Chronicle. A few security lines remained open for screening. KNTV reported. Social media posts show large crowds of people gathered at airport baggage claim. The power outage also halted some public transportation to the airport and snarled traffic on other roadways in the area. Antarctica's Doomsday Glacier is melting away differently than scientists had first thought. Researchers monitoring the rapid melting of the world's widest glacier have now a better understanding of its natural processes due to an extensive deployment of probes and warn that trouble looms due to a warming climate. Findings recently published in the Nature Journal said changes under the Thur Glacier are different from what researchers first believed. Scientists reported melting below the ice shelf is slower than many computer models had estimated, but observations also determined that thawing in cracks and crevices is happening at a faster pace. Despite the new theories about Antarctica's Florida-sized glacier, a joint UK and US research program known as the International Thaw-White Glacier Collaboration said since the 1990s, around 8.7 miles of what used to be ice touching the seafloor has disappeared. Quote, "Our results are a surprise, but the glacier is still in trouble. If an ice shelf and a glacier are in balance, the ice coming off the continent will match the amount of ice being lost through melting and iceberg calving. What we have found is that despite small amounts of melting, there is still rapid glacier retreat, so it seems that it doesn't take a lot to push the glacier out of balance. Dr. Peter Davis, who is an oceanographer with the British Antarctic Survey, said in a statement, North Korea fires 2 more missiles in tests which are condemned by neighbor South Korea. North Korea fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles into the sea east of the country on Monday in its second test launch in 3 days. That prompted Japan to request an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Now, the launches continue a tit-for-tat exchange that began on Saturday and follow a year in which North Korea launched more than 70 missiles, which was the most ever. Pyongyang has recently escalated nuclear threats and threatened an unprecedentedly strong response to annual United States-South Korea military drills, which it views as a preparation for an invasion of its country. Now, South Korea's military said it detected 2 missile launches on Monday morning from a town on North Korea's west coast, which were later confirmed by North Korean official media. Japan said both missiles landed in waters outside Japan's exclusive economic zone and that no damage to aircraft or vessels in the area was reported, but they flew distances that suggest most of South Korea is in range. The tests follow an intercontinental ballistic missile launch on Saturday, which was the country's first since January 1st, and a U.S. bomber flight over the Korean peninsula, which was conducted in response on Sunday. In the Midwest, where an Ohio senator condemns the train operator and the lobbyist over toxic derailment. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown had harsh criticism on Sunday for corporate lobbyists and for Norfolk Southern, which is the Atlanta-based operator of the train that derailed in East Palestine, Ohio 2 weeks ago while carrying toxic chemicals. Speaking on Sunday to CNN's State of the Union, the Democrat said the derailment, which caused the release of toxic chemicals, including the carcinogenic vinyl chloride, was an episode of the same old story and that Norfolk Southern had caused it. Quote, corporations do stock buybacks. They do big dividend checks. They lay off workers, Brown said. Quote, thousands of workers have been laid off from Norfolk Southern. Then they don't invest in safety rules and safety regulation, and this kind of thing happens. That's why people in East Palestine are so upset. They know that corporate lobbyists have had far too much influence in our government, and they see this as a result. These things are happening because these railroads are simply not investing the way they should in car safety and in the rail lines themselves. Brown said that Norfolk Southern and corporate lobbyists were wholly responsible for the accident, which has caused breathing difficulties, rashes, nausea, headaches, and even swollen eyes, as well as killing pets and wildlife. Quote, there's no question they caused it with this derailment because they underinvested in their employees. They never look out for their workers. They never look out for their communities. They look out for stock buybacks and dividends. Something's wrong with corporate America, and something's wrong with Congress and administrations listening too much to corporate lobbyists, and that's got to change. Let's go to Texas, where Austin police and 911 staffing levels have been questioned after street racers take over major intersections and injure a cop. Some Austin City Council members are speaking out about the police department's vacancies and the ongoing problems at the 911 call center after a chaotic scene unfolded downtown on Saturday evening. Street racers took over an intersection at South Lamar Boulevard and Barton Springs Road, drifting in the middle of the street and setting off fireworks as throngs of people looked on at the mayhem. One law enforcement officer was injured, and several police cars were damaged in the fracas. Quote, imagine for a moment that the incidents last night happened with large-scale events going on. Council member Mackenzie Kelly said on Sunday, noting that she is, quote, increasingly concerned about our police vacancies. Quote, the possibility of a catastrophic cascading failure due to a lack of support from our police department puts the city, its residents, and visitors at risk of danger. Council member Allison Alter told the Austin American-Statesman that she happened upon the street takeover and called 911, but ended up on hold for 28 minutes. The Austin Police Department's Emergency Communications Division has been dealing with a staffing crisis for several months, with the 911 call center lowering its minimum staffing requirements last August due to, quote, unprecedented vacancy rates.